All right. Just before we start, you should have said, well, you're German. You go Aldi. You'll know what to do there. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Suited and Booted. How do I sound in your car? How do I sound in your AirPods? How do I sound on the work site, the job site? Shout out to all the tradies. Shout out to the people in the offices. Shout out to the people who hate their bosses. We hate them too.
That was a rhyme a bit, bro.
Yeah.
Shout out to the people in the offices. Shout out to the people that hate your bosses.
Yeah.
We got to drop.
I was actually rapping this morning.
I could see that.
Yes, so it leaked through, but
he's fresh. He's warmed up.
yeah, I'm warmed up. Who else can I shout out? I want to shout out all the third choice State 5 centre backs that are struggling for a spot. I want to shout out
the step in under 12 coach.
Yeah, I hope he's doing well.
Bro.
Don't listen to Jake.
Yeah.
I hope you're doing well.
You're
the real MVP.
Oh, we're doing football shout-outs today.
Any shout-outs, man. I want to shout out. I want to shout out people that are having problems in their relationships. You'll get through it, or not. I want to shout out.
And if you don't, you'll get through that.
Yeah, you'll get through that because tutto passa. Everything passes. I want to shout out. Here's who I don't want to give a shout out to.
This may be in conflict with what I do want to shout out.
Oh, what do you want to shout out?
The Amy Park security guards.
I don't want it. That's who I was not going to shout out. But then by not shouting them out, I'm shouting them out.
Yeah.
So, shout out them. Who else do you want to shout out, man? Because people get mad when we miss them out. Man, I want to shout out all the coaches, all the volunteers of all state league clubs.
I was going to say that.
I want to shout out all the canteen people.
I was going to say the canteen, the women specifically.
Yes.
The canteen.
Yeah.
They're the ones that make community.
They know what they're doing, man. They're the glue. I want to shout out to every single NPL club, man. I love NPL.
NPL's the GOAT, man. Undefeated, bro.
I want to shout out every NPL fan too.
Yep.
Because they're normal. I want to shout out.
It's begun.
That's a shot.
Who else do I want to shout out, man?
So I was thinking third choice keepers across the world.
But
that's the one where you just have a lot of time to.
Nah, I don't want to shout them out. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
They have the best life. They get paid. They get paid. They're famous-ish, but not famous enough where they can't go like shopping and stuff. All they do is train.
They get fit for a living.
And they just stay ready.
What about this, man? Shout out to the partners of footballers that have to deal with
those divas.
footballer, man.
Yeah.
And the divas aren't the partners. The divas are the footballers.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Shout out to the wags out there or the mags.
Mags?
Oh, not mags. Hags. Husbands.
Oh.
Yeah.
Haven't heard that one
Husbands and
before.
girlfriends.
No, Habs.
Habs, yeah.
Sounds like a shifty Lebo guy. Don't go to Habs.
Call me Habs.
The Habs takeaway. Rash, few more shout outs, man. Who else is out there, bro? You know, shout out to people working in the factories. Tough job, but we're going to try to get you through your shift today. Shout out.
Retailers that can listen to the headphones.
Man.
Maybe in the back room or something like that.
Shout out to the retailers. Shout out to Jonathan, a.k.a. Cecil's boss, who plays us on the job site. That's my mum.
Shout out to your mum.
Shout out to my mum because I was...
And yours.
And yours too. I was on my mum's case this morning because I wasn't a fan of her chocolate cake. And...
You live a privileged life, and I love it for you.
Yeah. Does that not sound like...
I don't know when my mum ever made chocolate cake in my life.
the biggest nightmare of a child. Mum, that chocolate cake is not good enough this morning.
Literally, that's what I said. Literally, that's what I said. And then Max chimed in and goes, yeah, he's right. Now
my God.
Now she just sent me a message saying it's now iced. Because I said there was no icing on it.
Oh, you freaking idiot, mate. You are a freaking idiot.
No wonder people hate me.
So he said, this isn't good enough. God. And then she's gone, I've perfected it now.
And then he's going to get home and be like, it's not right still.
Mama, I watched a lot of Anthony Bourdain. And
what's the bet she just got? What's the bet she just got into the Nutella jar and just went? Any hoops.
Wait, so you were
Shout
having
out my
chocolate
mum.
cake in the morning this morning?
No, like I woke up and I saw a little bit of it there and I was like, oh, I'll just rip some off.
Can I tell the people your diet at
Nope.
our office on Wednesday morning?
Oh, yeah. I don't mind.
Bro, this guy comes. I don't know if you saw this.
I did see this and I thought, wow, 2?
Yeah.
It was 2 for 8. It was 2 for 8, so that's why I got it.
So we've started doing this thing where we go into the office Wednesday morning. We've said 10 till 2.
Midday, it's midday.
Already it's gone to 11 till 2.
Yeah. That's sort of not my fault, but anyway.
Sorry, 11 till 3. And anyway, this Wednesday I get there. Both other people are late. Jake and Jerome are late already. And then Jerome walks in, second to arrive. His hair's all messed up. And I go, hey, man, just woke up. And he's got a 7-Eleven hot dog, 4 and 20 pie, and a hot dog. A 4 and 20 pie and a sausage roll. Ketchup. And a Coke can.
Coke Zero.
Yeah, Coke Zero, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was, what time was it? 11:20 in the morning, first meal of the day, breakfast.
Yeah, the thing about that is the night before I play fives and we literally stand outside and speak until about 1:30 a.m. So for me, it was literally hear my alarm, roll out of bed, get in the car.
The sleep is not the fascinating thing to me. Because fair enough, if you sleep late, 3, you sleep at like 3, right?
Oh, not always. No.
Right, but you sleep late. So fair enough, you wake up late.
Midnight-ish, yeah.
And then, midnight?
Bro, I can't do under 9 hours.
Yeah, but fair enough. Okay,
Yeah.
that's important. But then the breakfast is wild, bro.
It's a horrible breakfast.
That's insane.
But I'm like, I don't want to be too late. So I'm not going to sit here and make eggs and shit. So let me just grab whatever the fuck is at the service station because there's nothing else around.
What about a bowl of cereal?
Bowl of cereal.
Yeah,
That-
that's not that healthy, but
Yeah.
it's better than a 4 and 20 pie.
You know when you just go through phases where you don't eat something for 2 years?
And then you just want a pie. Pie is that food.
No,
Oh.
I mean cereal. I just
Oh.
haven't had cereal in 2 years. So it's just not at home, like, you know.
Interesting. See, for me, pie is that food. I don't think I had pie for like 2 years. And then I was like, I want a pie.
Have a pie.
Yeah.
Bro,
Shout out to the pies.
there was one really good one at 7-Eleven. It's
Gotta
the
go
cream pie.
Okay.
It's got like chocolate and... But anyway.
It was a really, really bad attempt.
Before we get started on today's pod, it's just me, Jerogba, to my left,
Lord Mahazi.
and on camera for the very first time in history of the world,
No body.
Noor Bodic.
Is this the first time you've been on camera?
Second time, he just doesn't remember it.
Yeah, I thought you already been on.
For the second time in the world's history, Noor's on camera for our audio listeners.
good.
So if you want to have a little look at him, get on YouTube.
Yeah, come on. Look at me.
Before we get started on today's agenda, I would like everyone to please, it means the world to us, hit that 5-star on Spotify. And if you're an even madder Kent, you're going to leave a review. You're also going to follow us. So on the top of your Spotify podcast homepage, it's going to come up at that little blue dot, and there's going to be a new suited episode there for you. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the YouTube. Don't know why you wouldn't have, but yeah. Also, again, unless my math is wrong, we have nearly 21,000, 22,000 followers on Instagram, accumulative. Why do I have 4,000 followers on Instagram? Let's change that. I need to eat and buy clothes.
I don't know how that's going to help you eat, but yeah. 100%.
It's a double
definitely get free
entendre.
clothes.
It's a double entendre, Rash. I need to eat.
Yeah.
Money-wise as well, you know what I'm saying? We all need to eat. What other stuff can I force you guys to do? Follow Bootin' About if you haven't, because that's probably the more fun page, if I'm being honest.
Turn on notifications.
Turn on notifications. You can also send me things. Anything. I'm not picky. I just like free stuff.
Yeah, we were actually just talking off air about how Jerome has accepted something that he doesn't even want just simply because it's free.
Yeah, and you know,
It would be rude not to.
it'd be rude not to. And also,
Bro, I actively say to people, like, if I don't want something and they're like, I'll give it to you.
that's
I'm like,
fine.
No, thank you.
that's fine. That's fine.
You also asked Western why they charge $20 for fish and chips.
And it worked.
You're not normal, Rash.
It
And I
actually-
like it. I really like it. I was thinking about it this morning, actually.
When he was doing it, I was like, what the fuck is he doing? But then
But he got
it
an
added
answer.
to the context of the podcast. If you don't ask, you will not receive. Also, guys, any solo content you want me to do, I put this on my Instagram. People thought I was joking. I am a mercenary. If you want to use me for anything and pay me, you can do so. Hit my DMs. Same with Rash. Same with Noor. If you need any website design, go to Noor. That's all I got for the shout outs and the house rules for today. Let me get my shit off, boys. Mm-hmm. Now, obviously last night, me, Noor, Gavin's girlfriend, and Lord went to the A-League semi-final first leg between Melbourne Victory and Auckland.
Should we start on a positive note?
Nope.
This guy's woken up on the wrong side of the bed 4 minutes ago.
You know, guys, for everyone listening at home, I want to explain what happened at Amy Park last night. Now, we'll get to the minimal positives later, but I want to break something down for you guys. Last night, literally 20 seconds before I was about to get in my car and leave Amy Park, I got my first ever bit of hate.
Finally. Well, in person.
Yeah, in person.
In person. First bit in person. Shout out to you.
Shout out to that beautiful couple. So I'll explain what
Lovely
happened.
people, man.
I'll explain what happened. We were in the car park where the guests and players park. So shout out to Joseph for hooking that up. So, yeah, we were leaving the stadium. Everything was fine. And about 20, 30 meters away, I can hear someone saying, "Fucking dickhead."
Aggressive pointing.
Aggressive pointing as well. And I'm like,
Never point.
should never point. And I'm thinking, oh, he must be, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe his friend or maybe his missus didn't buy him a hot dog. I don't know. And then I look over and he's pointing at me. And I was a bit bamboozled and confused. Like, have I, like...
Do I know you?
First of all, like, do I have a shit stain or something? Like, why are you looking at me and pointing at me and calling me a fucking dickhead? I look over, it's like this middle-aged couple. I would say late 40s, early 50s, around there. So the guy is pointing at me saying, "You fucking dickhead," pointing at me. And then I stopped and I turned around and I said, "What's your fucking problem?" And she, the wife, turns around and goes, "The media!" And I scoffed and I said, "I'm not fucking media. When am I media? I make football content. I'm not media." And then she goes, your podcast. The things you say on your podcast."
Can I ask, were they wearing any type of jersey?
Noor believes they were in victory gear.
It was 1,000,000% clear.
Okay, yeah. And they were also coming out of like the special guests / players' family / sponsors area.
Oh.
Right.
Maybe there's a connection to the club.
Maybe. And it was sort of one of those moments where I was like laughing, but I was a bit like, I didn't even know what to say. I'm like, what do I say here? I was standing there and they were walking off while they were talking.
Did you realise at this point that they were serious? Or
Yeah.
did you still kind of think...
No, they were 100% serious.
By the way, I was not there for this.
Rash wasn't there.
Because Gav had noticed beforehand. He's like, "Bro, you see the way they're pointing at him?" And then they spoke.
Okay.
Yeah. But I definitely heard him call me a fucking dickhead, and then his wife was saying, "The media," and then the podcast and all that. And then I said, "What the fuck did I do?" A 50 Cent meme.
What for me for?
Yeah. What the fuck me for? And I'm just sort of, and I'm like, I'm like, I'm not the fucking media. I don't know who are you yelling at? Now, always when a situation goes down, you get in the car, you get home, whatever, and you think, I should have went about that differently. There was 2 ways I should have dealt with that. Mm-hmm. The first one is screamed, well, that's exactly right. The second one, which I should have done, I believe I should have done this, is jog over to them and genuinely ask them what's their problem.
Well, that's 100% what I would have done. I would have said, what's going on?
Well, I did ask it, but I should have ran up to them as they were speed walking off. Nor you can clarify, they were walking off.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm not capping here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you'd actually have to run after them.
Yeah, they were like
which
30.
is a bit weird.
Yeah.
30, 40 meters.
Yeah, they were like, I was standing still and they were walking off. And then after that, I'm just like trying to put the pieces together in my head of like, what did I say that would have pissed someone off to that extent? Now, Buddhas, I want you to know something about me. And these boys can clarify this. You get the G-rated version of Jerome on the podcast. If I was actually how I am, these type of people...
This show wouldn't go far.
Well, number one, the show wouldn't go far. And number two, these type of people would really not be able to handle me. So then I start to think like, I always have this thing of I never bash players on here. Mm-hmm. And that's partially because of at the start, you said something that stuck with me like, I'm a player. I know what it feels like to be bashed. So we're going to try to refrain from that. I don't do that up here. I think the nastiest thing I've ever said about an A-League player was maybe they're out of form and they don't have a good end product. Other than that, in terms of players, nothing.
We haven't been that critical about clubs either.
We have the most critical I've been about a club is when I said Wellington Phoenix were idiots for not accepting Souvlaki from South Melbourne, which is tongue in cheek.
Yeah. Which made my mum stop listening to the pod, by the way.
It was Ratch's mum.
Nah, it definitely wasn't. But I just started to think, like, what could I have possibly said on the pod that was so inflammatory to these people to the point where they see me in public and have to scream obscenities at me? And I just couldn't figure it out, bro.
Well, let's go down the list of what it could be. I think the first...
We tried to do this in the car, but we couldn't get anything.
Okay. The first and obvious one is the swearing and the vulgarity. But I don't think you're going to yell at someone fucking dickhead if that's your problem.
That's exactly what Jerome and I said.
It's not the vulgarity. Anyone that has come up to me that wants to speak about my vulgarity or my swearing, the last thing they're going to do is swear. Because it's like that age-old joke of like, stop fucking swearing.
Yeah.
They're not going to do it. So it's not that.
Can't be smashing players.
Cannot be smashing players.
Cannot.
Like, literally, it cannot be. I've never said anything about any A-League players.
Yeah.
That is bad.
Cannot be smashing clubs. Cannot.
Cannot? How?
Could be smashing the league. Maybe.
That's what we said, but then we also said that
no,
you guys don't go, like, you're always trying to be
offer solutions,
advocate positively for the A-League.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why,
Perhaps,
Rash.
yeah.
If you work for the A-League, right, and you have an ounce of professionalism, you're not going to see me, of all people, now I'm going to toot our own horn here. We have people message us all the time saying, you're the reason I literally watch the A-League. You're the reason I have started to get back into football. Yeah. Out of all people, you're not going to come up to us and say we're the problem. So, and I wouldn't expect professionals to use that type of language and
at their workplace.
Yeah, at their workplace.
Yeah, it's a strange reaction. I mean, this is probably a message out there to, if you're ever going to yell fucking dickhead at someone, probably follow it up with the reason why would be good.
I'm going to be real.
You're probably not the most rational person if you're going to yell that out in public, though. So you're probably not going to go ahead with all that.
I'm not the fight guy. I'm not the confrontation guy. I never have been. I'm a bitch. But I will not, I don't care who you are, let people do that to me in public without having to crack back. Online, I get it. Anyone can say everything and anything they want online, and it's completely fine. And it's just, it's online,
Charge
bro.
it to the game.
Charge it to the game, man. Take it on the chin, pause. In person, what am I going to do? Look at them and laugh? No one's going to do that to me in person. If you have a problem with something I said, which I think has happened once or twice. I've had someone come up and maybe question something I've said, but it was in a polite way, so I just answered them. But if you're going to do that, now my brain is going 100 miles an hour, so I'm going to send out a PSA. If it's you guys watching this, if you see me or any of the suited and booted people next time in public, I'd love for you guys to come up and have a conversation and say what your fucking problem is. If it's someone you know, or you heard a story last night about how, we said this to Jerome, tell them to DM me. Like I said, criticism, I get. Online, I get. I'm not having someone do that to me in person. I do not care. And like I said, people know me. I am not that confrontational, arc up guy. I'm not. But I'm not going to have someone scream at me like that in public. It's just not going to happen. I'm going to turn around like I did and say, what the fuck is your problem? And you know what tripped me out hard? It was that they were in their like late 40s, early 50s. It would make sense if it was like
18-year-old guy.
Yeah, like an 18-year-old.
Well, they've obviously just seen clips.
100%.
Must be the clips, which is why it's so funny that we're talking about this right now, because they are completely oblivious to the fact that we're talking about it.
I might
right
clip
now,
this shit up. Since you want to see clips,
He's going to post it on his page only.
nah, but dead ass. I'm being serious. If you guys are seeing this that did it, I want to know why. Not to improve the show for you, but to put you in your place. And if you know the people who did it, please reach out. I'd love to know.
I don't know, bro. I don't know if we can engage in that kind of world.
You don't need to, man.
Yeah, but I'm part of it.
I know.
I don't know if we're putting a clip up saying fuck you to the people that said fuck you.
But I'll say something else.
I don't want to give them the airtime.
If you and Jake were there, what would you have done? Because I know what you would have done.
I honestly, I would have politely, probably running over is weird, but I would have said, hold on. Why? That's probably my reaction.
I said that in a different way.
Yeah, and then dealt with it from there.
It was very odd.
It's just strange that maybe this is what they wanted. They wanted to leave it a bit obscure of why they were yelling, so that we talk about it for the next half hour.
They want it to be content.
Yeah.
Well, get on OnlyFans or some shit. Don't fucking use me. But the weird thing is they came out of that sort of special section. So it's like you've either got a connection to the club, players. I'll get to the bottom of it.
Well, it's obsessed fans also that go in there. It's like the most extreme fans that go in there, the diehards.
Then I started to think about that. And I said, I've spoken about victory twice in the last few months. The first one was around the Northern Terrace, saying that I don't condone what's been alleged, but also at the same time, we need fans. So I played the fence there. Then the second time was literally last week when I said victory are going to win the final.
Well, you never know, man. It's a pretty divisive moment with the fans and stuff. Maybe they wanted us to have a harder stance.
Well, fucking go to JB Hi-Fi. Get these, they're called Rode mics. Get a Rodecaster. Get a camera and fucking give your stance. This is my stance. It's my stance. And for the billionth time, we're not journos and we're not fucking media. We just love to have a shit talk here. But putting that to the side, shout out to everyone else that showed love last night. But Rush, I'll let you go now, man. We had a weird, odd experience last night at the A-League, I'd say.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of it.
Bit of a tricky one.
Yeah, so we get there, obviously invited down. We get there, I bring my camera, get inside with the camera, no problems. We start filming, no problems. We say hello to people. We start doing a bit of filming, talking to people in the chase area. And then all of a sudden, a couple of security guards come over to me and say, do you have a
media pass?
A media pass for that camera? I said, no, I don't. They said, you need a media pass. Can you call someone that can get you a media pass? So then I go, oh, yeah, I can show you the information of why we're here. But I show them, you need to contact someone. All right, can you give us a name instead? I said, I give them the name of the person that's invited us down. They go into their headset, it's not good enough. Nah, you need to bring them down here so that they can clear the camera for you. Bring the person down. They start saying, he's all good. Trust me,
this is during the game, by the way.
This is during the game. So we've missed the first 20 minutes of the whole game at this point.
Pretty much.
Then he says to them, it's all good. They go back in their headset. They go, nah, it's not all good. You need to go through the the proper process, which is going out of the stadium, down to the security area, getting a wristband, getting a lanyard, and getting a bib. So now I have to be actually like media, looking like a media person. So,
Which is really weird as a guest to have to like dress that way. It's like,
yeah. I mean, look, I'm not going to have a hard stance on this because it's a bit of a weird situation. But anyways, we ended up having to try to go outside, which then 2 more security guards stopped us from the other direction. And they said, no, you can't come out here because you don't have the accreditation to get through here. So now we're in the between. We're almost in the... is there some
No man's land.
Geographical place in the world? where
Demilitarized zone.
yeah, we're in a demilitarized zone. We're in between these 2 security guards and these 2
North
security
and
guards
South
saying,
Korea.
you can't go that way and you can't go that
Yeah,
way.
that's North and
So
South
I said,
Korea.
all right, we'll just stand here. And,
We'll just stand here until one of you decides something. Yeah, mad.
and then, anyways, we got out. We end up getting the accreditation and everything. I finally get back to by these boys. Then we get upstairs. Then the guy goes, you can't come through here because you don't have a level 3 pass. Oh, my God. There's also 2 people up in level 3.
Let me reiterate that on that point. It was pissing down. The stadium was about 40% filled. So we said, we'll move seats. You know? I'm not going to sit here in the rain when there's 1,000 trillion other seats available. So the security guard downstairs said, you guys will be all sweet. Just go upstairs. Cool. We get up there. Oh, my God. That guy up there, he was on his job.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is the best part.
Yeah.
So let me explain the best part, right? He goes, no. Sorry, guys. No, you don't have the right tickets. You got to get... No. Like about 7 different times because we asked him in different ways. No, you got to go back down. We go back down. After all the ordeal with the camera and everything like this, there was a bit more discussion. We go back up, and he's not even there anymore. And then we just walk through.
Guys, I know there's going to be some nerds that say, well, yeah, they're just doing their job, which they are. They're just... it's not per se their fault.
it's not a go at them.
It's not a go at them, it's a go at them. So I know they're doing their job.
He's right.
I don't know, but this is why I don't have a hard stance on it. I understand it from one side, but I also
Like,
don't
just a
understand it from the
practical
other
human
side.
Yeah.
It's complicated because
Yeah.
because Gavin's argument was, well, in Argentina they just let you go over it.
In Argentina, they just let you in with knives and guns. No one cares. They just go, yeah, go through.
Right? So obviously that's not what we want to be at because then everyone will just sit anywhere, and even if you purchase a seat, there'll be a person sitting in a seat. So you don't want that. But then there's got to be some level of common sense where it's like, all right, there's nowhere near the capacity filled. There's almost no one up there. Yeah, just go. But I don't know if you should have that leniency.
What baffles me is that I didn't check the tickets for last night, but I know that the ticket prices have gone up for finals. And like,
Yeah, $70.
I saw
$70
tickets going for 40, 70.
Sorry, yes, 40 is the starting price,
Yeah.
70 premium.
Yeah. Are you sure on that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I understand their whole, well, you didn't pay for these tickets, but no one's there, bro. It's like when I was on a flight once and there was hella free seats. And because I'm a tall bastard, I said to the air hostess, I said, do you mind if I move? She go, you know what her excuse was? She goes, nah, you can't. Huh?
For emergencies?
No. Weight distribution.
All right.
Oh, that's rude.
She goes, if you sit on that side of the plane, there's going to be a weight distribution problem. I said...
Is it her job to walk? Her job is to walk up and down a plane. It's constantly messing up the distribution.
Yes.
Jerome sits down.
Yeah. Like...
It's got to be racist.
Since when did they weigh people before getting on a plane?
Oh, man.
So that reminded me of that, where it's like, you're making up shit to try to be good at your job, but really, there is not one person in this concourse. Everything is closed on the 3rd level at that point in time. They opened up the food at halftime. Everything is closed. I could have sat in a section with genuinely 1,000 free seats around me.
Yeah, you know what? This is how I see it, right? This is how I see it. Because it's a cultural discussion. It's like a socio-cultural discussion where, because, for example, my girlfriend is from Germany. Obviously, I lived a lot of my life in Argentina, and I love that culture. The culture in Argentina is like,
get out of
if
it,
there's a
mate.
seat there, just go. No problem, no problem. Yeah. Everything's like that. In Germany, it's the complete opposite. No. If you have a seat number, you sit in the seat.
Yeah.
If you drive in this lane, like they have rules for the way that they drive. Like something to do with you've got to if you're I can't remember what it is, but you have to drive in the right-hand lane unless you're overtaking or something like that. Something like that, which we don't have. There's so many rules about everything. Would you prefer to live in a society like Australia, which is there's so many rules for everything? Because it's an Australian thing. It's not Amy Parksing. It's an Australian thing.
I get what you're saying about the German stuff, but I think, I mean, I haven't been in Germany for that long, but I have been. And what I experienced was, I don't know if it's a strictness. I think it's efficiency in Germany. Because...
Which is the same thing.
Eh,
It's sticking to
there's a
rules and
truth to
procedures
this
and
in that,
systems.
Like, if there is
yeah, but it's...
structure, you're going to be more efficient. That's
Yeah.
why countries like Argentina are probably less efficient.
I know, but then I'm seeing shit like people drinking alcohol on public transport. It's totally fine. Like, that's a thing in Germany. You're allowed to do it. That would never happen here. And if you look at German fans as well, I feel like they get away with much more than what we would here in Australia. Also, another point I wanted to highlight was that driving into the game, I saw so many cops and horses, and it was just like,
gross.
it felt like way too much for the fans. Now, I understand, with the tensions going and all of that. Sorry if that was the people's reason. I won't talk about it again. But I understand, but then like really Auckland, there's like 200, if that there.
No, I think it was, I don't know, man, because did you see there was a significant march going on?
Yeah, there was.
So if it's kind of equal to most other games. Not saying the police presence is justified at all times, but like
it just felt
it
like
wasn't extreme for the A-League standards, I feel like.
it felt like a lot though. What was the actual attendance? Can we?
14,130 or something. I'd searched it up this morning.
Okay, that's not good.
It's not great. It's not great.
14,000 for a home
Semifinal.
semi-final is not great. Now, granted, it's triple what the other two Melbourne teams got, which we'll get to. But it's not great. Look, man, I'm just going to be honest. I will always support the A-League. I love the A-League. It's fine. But I noticed something about the difference of people at A-League games at NPL. And this obviously has to do with community and the tight-knit fabric of... I feel so much more... Is welcome the word? I don't know. Maybe more relaxed. And appreciated at the local level.
Well, it's not even about us. Okay, another interesting thing. Noor, I don't know if you were with us when we did this, but we walked around, we were asking people what is their best or funniest victory memory.
Yep. Bro.
We asked probably like, I don't know, 6 or 7 groups
Yeah, of different people.
of different people. People didn't have one.
Okay.
Like, it was like people like, oh,
Jeez.
I don't really remember one. I don't really have one.
That's bad.
At one point, we said, all right, what's your best victory memory? They go, oh, no, we're Auckland people. And we said, all right, what's your best Auckland memory? Whatever they said to us. Then we said to this next group, what's your best victory memory? Then we realised these two groups have actually come together.
Yeah.
So
It's different.
it's a weird world, A-League,
It's
man.
different. Okay, this is no...
And that's no hate to you guys.
Yeah, it's
by the
no
way.
hate, like,
it's just an
We're not saying,
observation.
there's a criteria to go to A-League games. But I'm pretty sure we asked one guy what his favourite or what his funniest victory memory was, and he said when Bruno did a Rabona. And I was standing there thinking, what? I'm trying to figure out what's funny about someone doing a Rabona.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, would you laugh if... I don't know.
I don't know. Well, fair enough, we're putting people on the spot.
Yes,
So
that is true.
it's
And
not
then
easy, but
we asked someone their favourite victory goal, and the answer was Archie Thompson, just the player. And I was like, and Rash goes, yep, we'll take that. And then I started to think like, now, to be fair, we knew that to get those good answers, we'd probably have to go near the terrace for those more diehard fans, for those fans that have been coming for years and years and years. But we got there late, and it was just a bit of it. So we were sort of just at the main concourse sort of entry, whatever the fuck you want to say. Yeah, but even still, I just thought, I'm like, man, a lot of these people are just coming here just because for something to do.
Yeah.
Even like the group that we did talk to, they said, no, we don't come to that many games. Like, it's just just some of the
It's like
answers.
an outing, a friendship outing, really.
Yeah, and then just
I
some of the
wonder if
answers
you
were
asked
odd.
that same question at an MPL game, I feel like people would have more answers. Definitely if you're in Europe or South America or something, people would have an answer like that. But I think even at MPL level, if you asked a Preston fan,
Yeah.
they'd probably be able to tell you. South Melbourne fan, they'd probably be able to tell you.
They'd say-
Oakley fan, they'd probably be able to tell you.
If you went to South or Preston or Oakland, they would say, you'd say, what's your best or funniest memory? 2006 preseason game against Green Gully. So what happened was, Konbutsianis crossed the ball, and then the goalkeepers come out, slipped, taken out the ref, and we've scored, and they've given it to us.
Matsurutsianis put it in.
Yeah, that's what you're going to get at MPL. Now, again, this is no hate to A-League fans. It was just what we observed last night, and I just thought, this is like trying to squeeze blood out of a stone. A little bit.
Yeah, should we go on to the the Western United Melbourne City? I've got actually a very good tweet to start us off with that one.
Just to finish off, we were wrong. Auckland won. And I don't know if Victory are going to be able to overturn it. I might have been wrong.
It's only one.
It is only one. It's very doable. Again, if these people are parents of Victory players, I'm sorry. I think they're going to win 7-0. But
And your son will score them all.
yeah, and your son will score them all, and he 100% pass completion rate. If you are a parent, if you're a sponsor, I love all the Victory sponsors.
Hey, do you see what you've done to this guy? After every comment, he comes back to just letting you know how angry he is at you.
Do you know what the thing is? People will say, "Oh, Jerome's petty. He lets things get to him." Yeah, I am, and I think more people need to be okay with who they are. Not everyone.
That's beautiful, man. That's a beautiful comment. It's true.
Not everyone, because like if you belong in jail, then you belong in jail. But I think more people need to come to terms with not everyone's a good person. Not everyone is water off a duck's back when it comes to these situations. And people will react how they will react. And this is how I'm reacting. And I'm reactionary.
You're feeling your feelings.
And that's it. And also, I do a podcast. I got to entertain you guys, man. Imagine if I came in and didn't say it.
Boring.
What are we going to talk about? Because there wasn't much to talk about on the pitch.
Yeah, so it's going to be hard for Victory, eh? It's going to be hard.
Yeah,
They're
it-
lucky to not be 2-0 down because that
Oh, my.
counter.
The double
and hit
post?
The double post. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was bad.
Oh, and one other thing that I want to mention, by the way.
Oh, no.
Amy Park's surface. What the
Bad.
fuck, bro?
Bro, on every attacking or defensive play, someone's slipping.
What is going... And I can guarantee you that... I can't guarantee you, but I would say 80% of the players out there would be wearing metal studs, and it's not their fault that they're slipping over.
Because the rain wasn't that bad.
And I also think that it actually does an injustice to the players, because as a player, I'll say it for you guys, because I'm not playing. I would never say, oh, it's because of the ground.
Yeah, 'cause
I
you
missed the
look-
pass because of the ground. I wouldn't look at the ground after I took a bad shot. But I'll say it for you. I see Vilupale with the ball towards the end of the game, dribbling, going up to the box, and his left foot just goes like that. He doesn't fall over, but he kind of goes like that.
That's enough.
And then he loses the ball. And it's like, come on, man. What's going on, bro?
By the end of the game, it was cut up real bad. But even at the start of the game, the 6-yard box was a mess. And yes, again, I know the challenges and difficulties of having various sports and other events there, but it's just not good enough for a pro level. These are the little things. These are the little things that all add up with everyone's gripes about the A-League. These are the little things that add up. It's the little things, bro, which culminate into this bigger problem. Like, it's a semi-final. Why does the ground look like that?
Yeah.
Like, that's not... It's not. You don't, like, who knows? Would we have gotten better football?
You would have, 100%, bro.
Like,
100%.
if, you know,
Yeah.
did Victory score? Like, you just don't know. And again, I know it's picky little shit to fucking bring up the ground and the surface and all that, but...
Also quite a few interesting ref calls, like around the handballs in the box.
Yeah, there was a few
There's
interesting
2 or 3 decent
handballs.
claims,
Yeah, probably would have been given in Europe.
Yeah.
But look, I'm not going to be...
Yeah, exactly.
whatever, man. Lindale got a good 1-0, 1-1 draw on the weekend, so shout out.
The real finals.
They're the real finals. Lindale have made some good signings. By the way, guys, shameless plug. If you are looking for a bit of, just a little bit, and you're a decent player, get down to Lindale, man. If you're in the southeast, man, I'll sort it out. DM me. Right. What else about last night? I think that's pretty much it. Anything else funny happen? Gavin seemed to know everyone at the stadium for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some
not
Auckland,
really.
some Auckland fan is like, wait a minute, I had a sardo with you 2 weeks ago. And Gavin's like, oh, yeah.
Speaking of food, you had 2 meals at Amy Park yesterday. Is that normal for you?
Yesterday, I was a bad boy. Okay. Before I went to Lindale, I had 2 hot dogs.
Ooh.
Get to Lindale, have my little Coke Zero. Get to Amy Park, I have my hot dog and chips.
And a Pepsi Max.
And a Pepsi Max, which I then forgot because of the security who were saying we can go up, we can't, we can go up, we can't, we can go up, we can't. And then at halftime, I had buttermilk, chicken tenders, and fries. Now, yes, guys, absolutely horrible, but not many healthy options at Amy Park. But shout out the guys that Uber Eats buttered chicken into the stadium. Because Rash is like, I smell curry. And then we looked over our shoulders and these 2 were just, and it looked great.
Chowing down.
Yeah, look good, man.
Cozy.
Can I ask you honestly?
Oh, no.
This is like not really a pod question, but honestly, do you have any interest in improving your diet?
Yes.
Honest.
Yes. It's just hard.
Because that's not even, I don't know, like what you said just yesterday. It's not even about eating unhealthy. It's like, I don't know. Like,
Self-determination.
what?
I don't.
Why are you eating that?
Bro.
And maybe I'm being a bit judgmental there, but surely that's not good for you, bro.
Well, obviously it's not. I know that. I'm not chowing this down thinking, nutrients. But it's just, I'm a sucker for convenience
Yeah.
and little shit. Like, I wake up half an hour before I need to leave. And it's like, what can I have that's like takes 2 minutes and I can eat in the car? A hot dog. Cool. Get to the ground. What else am I going to eat there? I spend all day at Lindale. I get home. I have half an hour to shower and get ready to go to Victory. I'm not that hungry. But then by the time I get Victory, I'm hungry. So it's like, well, what the fuck am I going to eat here?
But for example, the thing of saying you've got short amount of time to eat, could you not
That's my fault.
but could you not pick up, I don't know, a Thai meal of like stir fry and rice and eat that in the car?
Again, it's convenient. I'm lazy.
It's less convenient to fork it into your mouth.
Well, that,
Then just
and
do
also park the car, get out, get my order, or I could just go drive through.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm lazy, bro. You don't need, like, people are out there. I know. I need to improve my diet.
We got to get you on a training regime, man.
I don't want to be on a training regime.
Nah, just for content, bro. You
Oh,
gotta
yeah,
do it
just for content. Yeah.
Level up your life for content.
For
Basically,
content.
a third choice keeper.
I hate that shit.
And even if it's just one thing, not
I don't wanna
necessarily
level up my
training or
life for
anything.
you
All right, not
guys.
necessarily training, but like a, I don't know, diet or something and just like some fun, more football or something.
Okay.
You know, something. We've got to do a series out of it. That'd be fun. I'll do one as well. I'll do one simultaneously
What's
or
your-
after yours.
I am halving the AI I use.
No. No, I mean like, I don't know, I'll try to do an MMA match or something.
Bro, fuck my shit. That's what the people want to see. They want to see you fight.
I think you'd be surprised to find out that they want
If
to
I
see
put up
you.
a poll right now saying, what would you rather see? Jerome change his diet or Rash fight in a fucking octagon?
But if you do Jerome transformation from eating healthy until hairline surgery in Turkey, people want to see that.
Grow clinics. If you're watching this, I'd love one for free.
See?
And I'll
Sponsored
talk,
episode
and I'll
already.
talk about it. Right.
All right, on
to the Friday night
yes.
semi-final, which, all right, again, dumbass Wogmath presented by Jerome. We go to Western United Adelaide. Had a great time, even though everyone was smashing it. 3,600, roughly. Cool. The week before, or wherever it was, we went to Sydney versus Melbourne City at Amy Park. Think there was about 6,000 or 7,000. I think. Maybe lower. You put that together, that's around 9,000 to 10,000 people. Against interstate teams, so Sydney and Adelaide. Next week, you have a game at Amy Park, which is a all-Melbourne semi-final. You get 5,000 people there. Now, as the girlies on TikTok say, the math...
Ain't mathin'.
It ain't mathin'. Also, need to factor in ticket prices. That's probably a deterrent. Weather ain't the greatest, but it's still, you can still be outside.
Slight deterrent.
Slight deterrent, but Amy Park is majority covered, right? You can do that. In terms of traffic and stuff, you cannot complain about 5,000 people going to a game. It would have been easy to get to in some respect. Money, I get, it's expensive, parking, food, blah, 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 blah. Another point. Why the hell wasn't the Western game played at Ironbark? Now, people will say for security measures, I'm going to be real with ya, there's not going to be one single problem between Melbourne City and Western United. If you have 2,000 Victory fans go, though, okay, it's more people, they're rowdier, something could happen. They don't have the security in place to deal with that. That's fine. Melbourne City and Western, come on, man. Give them a home game. But again, I get it. Protocol. That's Australia for you. Noah Bodic didn't play for the majority, though. He didn't start, and I think it hurt them because there wasn't much going on up top. And then Melbourne City just were in flying form. They were playing the best football, which we said last week. I watched the whole game. It was sort of sad. But. I've seen 3-0 being turned over before. You never know. The problem is it's at the exact same ground. Exact same everything. It's not a different atmosphere. None of that. It's the same. It's the same thing. It's literally 2 Melbourne City home legs. But I just thought the crowd was really poor. If you have it at Ironbark, it feels better at least. You know, numbers are numbers, but it feels better if it's at Ironbark. It's more compact. It's probably louder. You don't get that weird echo. And I'm pretty sure that Paramount or someone has put the microphone levels all the way up and closer to the sound to try to make it feel like there was somewhat of an atmosphere. And shout out to my good friend on Twitter. You know who you are. We had some DMs. If they were paying me to talk, my brother, I wouldn't be able to say this. So there's that. But shout out you. We had a good chat. But yeah, it was just disappointing on that front. But I think if one positive, you know, Tilio, he's class, man. He should be out of here next year and he should go play overseas. That's my breakdown of a somewhat underwhelming first 2 semi-final legs. What do you have to say, Lord?
I just saw I guess the Twitter post that came up that got a lot of comments. Conversations need to be had over the futures of Western United and Melbourne City in this league. The turnout for a semi-final tie between 2 teams based in more or less the same city is absolutely pathetic. And then I saw a good comment here, which was, when games become paywalled on TV, tickets become expensive, teams get bad press for feral supporters, and just a general lack of excitement for soccer other than seemingly the Matildas in the generic public and mainstream media. New supporters don't come, old supporters drop off, and the casuals stop going altogether. So I thought that those were 2 quite interesting comments.
I want to say,
No, man. I don't think it cannot be at Amy Park.
Yeah.
So regardless of the Vic poll and all these, whether it's safe and all, I don't care. Work it out. Whatever you need to do.
yeah, bring in the army.
Yeah, whatever you need to do to make it safe, it needs to be safe because it cannot be played at Amy Park where you have, a quarter of the stadium filled. That's not.
Bro, I know a few
looks
Lebos.
so poor for semi-final.
I know a few Lebo security guards. We can get it done.
Yeah, it
A
needs to be
few,
worked
a few
out.
big
That
mowies on
can't-
each corner flag and it's fine.
Yeah.
No one's messing about.
No one's messing about, bro.
No.
I'm sure we'll get Eric.
I think I saw something about the inroad and all that stuff. There was something about the infrastructure,
Yeah, that's what it is.
but also the security. Work it out. Whatever you need to do, it cannot be next year. I don't know if that's in the plans for it to be there again next
Well,
year. It cannot be there.
If
Cannot.
they make it, yeah.
Cannot. And in terms of to the tweet of their futures need to be reassessed, I think Western United deserves somewhat of a waiting period to see how they go over the next few years with the supporter base and stuff like that. The supporter base of Melbourne City definitely needs to be questioned, but also the argument could be made financially sustainable clubs in the A-League. We don't have many of them, so
Melbourne City's one of them.
Is one of them.
Yeah.
So
I think that just going back to our discussion last week on Western United, that got a great reaction on Twitter. A lot of different viewpoints. Some people very pro Western United. Some people, their whole issue was that other cities deserved the license before Western United. And then I said, okay, fair. I said, I want you to name me some people. And, we had Wollongong, we had Cairns, we had Townsville, we had Gold Coast again, we had Canberra. Fair, some of them have already failed. And some wouldn't work.
And I think this is the other point.
Hobart.
I think as a fan, you're not sitting and looking at the whole project. You're looking at an area or something that logically makes sense
And a
in your head of
population.
how it works.
Yeah.
You're not looking at what does the project
Statistics
look
and
like.
numbers and everything.
Yeah, from a business
Yeah, yeah,
perspective. And when we broke that down last week, when Jake broke it down, it's whether it works or not, I don't know. But in terms of a project, that sounds like a decent project.
On paper,
to
it's
me.
the best option.
On paper.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And again, it sucks that it has to come to it, but if the only way a club can stay financially stable is to include a real estate project, well then fucking so be it. Or else there ain't no club. But I feel like a lot of the other towns and cities people were putting up for consideration were a little bit, just a little bit of fantasy.
You know what it is? I think a lot of them were like, hey, I'm from Townsville and I know how good Townsville is, so we should have had a club.
Maybe.
Or I'm from Gold Coast and I know. It's realistically, you're not looking like...
Or they just look at the population and think, oh, yeah. I saw someone say Central Queensland. I'm like, that wouldn't work.
Yeah, yeah.
Where Central Queensland, Bundaberg.
Southeast of Melbourne makes sense, but I didn't see their project.
That was their biggest failure.
So how do I know?
The only one that everyone was saying that got me G'd was Team 11, a.k.a. Dandy.
That's what I'm saying,
Yeah,
Southeast.
yeah,
That's
Southeast.
what I'm saying. Yeah.
That was the only one where I was like,
But again, we don't know what that project actually looked like.
No, it
the
could have
whole
been crap.
thing. It could have been bad. But it makes sense because of the area, the demographic and stuff, but who knows?
yeah, look, it's all I'm going to say is it's a very important couple of months for the NPL leading into the second division. The NPL crowds have been phenomenal for the level and all of that and the money and whatever. They've been absolutely phenomenal. Build on them. Build into the second division. And I think that they're going to be a very good... what's the word I'm looking for here? It'll be refreshing. I think it'll be refreshing to see the sort of revival of crowds in the NPL and that sort of community feel and all that. And as for the A-League, again, another tough off-season to figure out what direction they're going to go in, what clubs are going to do. I've heard of some decent stuff coming out of one particular club that they're looking to change some things at. Just on the A-League clubs, before I forget, we have it on good authority from a very anonymous source And I'm not going to go into too much detail, but basically Ruben Zadkovich was lying in that press conference about the people at the club not getting paid. That's all I'm going to say.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. That's what we were told. We don't know.
That was interesting to listen to.
Yeah. We don't know for sure. And if anyone at the club or Ruben, we actually don't know, like, don't kill the messenger type thing. But we have been told that that may not be fact. But everyone's going to have their own side of the story.
Let's just say he may have put some toppings on it.
Some sauce.
Some pepperoni
Some
on
Napolitano.
that story, man.
Yeah.
Is that... It's not that it wasn't that it was a lie, but it wasn't the full story.
Yeah.
Isn't that what it was?
I think so.
Wasn't the full story.
Half-truth.
I think it was a half-truth and stuff was left out. That would put that whole scenario into much needed provide some much needed context to that scenario.
Maybe we could get him on here.
I'd love to get Ruben. If you want to come on here, come on here. I don't give a
That'd
shit.
be a fire guest.
I don't give a shit. If you have something to say, if you think you were done wrong by or whatever, that's another thing about us. We're going to try to remain as neutral as possible. Like, yes, there obviously are going to be some biases because
We're from Melbourne.
we're from Melbourne. And, you know, my local club is Thunder. And then the city, my city team, I guess you could call it, is Melbourne Victory. Like, there's going to be some biases. But for the most part, we have to try to cover everything in a neutral manner.
I think the other thing for me that I've said this to my mates and stuff is like, I often see both sides of the story.
You always do.
Which is hard because then I don't want to come on camera on record and put my opinion down really strongly when I kind of see the other side, and then I know probably in 3 weeks more news is going to come out. Like, for example, if we went out and smashed Brisbane on the Ruben Zadkovich thing, and we didn't do it kind of tongue-in-cheek and lightheartedly, and then news comes out and we're wrong, and then we're going to now smash Ruben Zadkovich? It's like, it's hard to publicly say things when you're not 100% sure. If it wasn't me in the situation, I didn't see it with my own eyes, I'm not going to have 100% like...
but you'll lean towards something.
Yeah.
We try to do, like, jokes aside, we try to do that we try to remain a little bit objective. I believe that's correct. It's not subjective, it's objective. Yes. With these things and with player performances and with how clubs are going and all of that. And I personally think we have a nice balance of giving credit where credit's due and then saying maybe what needs to change. And we're fully aware that it's easier said than done, and we learn that along this journey. We'll say, why don't they just do this? And then we'll talk to someone at a club or whatever. And yes, they may give us the answer that they want to give us, if you know what I mean. But a lot of the times I'm like, oh, no shit. That's why. Like, again, John Aloisi said it perfectly in the pod. And if you haven't listened to it, it's one of our best pods. Go check it out. Shout out JA. He said he's just come to terms with the fact that everyone's going to have an opinion and they literally have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. Why the fuck didn't you play him? Bro, he's injured.
Yeah,
he didn't train this week. Oh, why the fuck did you sub him off? He's literally got a broken leg. Like, I have to take him off. He's just been... he's been concussed, bro.
Why is he out of the squad?
Why is he out of the squad?
He got deported.
Yeah. He's match fixing.
Have you heard that quote?
He has 10 criminal charges, bro. He's not going to play.
Beyond football.
Yeah. Like, and we all get sucked into it. I do it all the time with Chelsea.
Opinions are like buttholes.
Everyone's
has
got one.
and some of them smell like crap.
And you know what it is? It's like this, bro. When you see your mate, right? You see your mate, comes up to you, he goes, hey, this person just said this to me. Let's say you're out of club. This guy just said this to me.
Yeah.
You're like one step away from that reaction of the situation, what actually happened. But you're getting his side. You didn't know what he said first.
Yeah.
And you back your mate up, kind of.
Well,
just because it's in the scenario.
Yeah.
Try to work out what's happening, but also back your mate up. Good. This is like when we get information, it's through a news source from a person that wrote an article that got it from their boss, that got it through another source that was kind of in the dressing room when it was said.
Yeah.
It's like, well, fuck, man. Who knows what's actually going on?
Yeah, and I think this, just so you guys know, this doesn't apply to last night. They were completely wrong with me. But I didn't do anything to...
Yeah,
but you were there.
You didn't aggravate anything.
You were there.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah, you're first person.
You saw it. First
you're
person.
right. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
It's a tricky one, but then also at the same time, I think people do like us because we have opinions. So we got to balance the whole having a stance.
But that's
on
why
things.
I smash Amy Park and the surface because I was there. I saw it, bro.
Yeah.
I saw Valupale's leg slip out from underneath him.
That's one thing about Rash. You know Rash. You know what Rash is short for? Rational.
Rational.
That's the one thing about him. With me, I'm a bit different.
That's it.
But just on that,
Yes. So just saying, we actually are on a little time constraint today. So let's get through the FA stuff, and then we'll punch on to We'll move on to. Hey guys, if you want to see us punch on, subscribe to our Patreon. That's coming soon.
So obviously, this is a great he said, she said thing. This is a topic of like funding in football in Australia.
Oh, so you mean Australian
Where is
football?
it?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Where is it? Why are we not getting enough considering we have the most participation? This question is, there's so many opinions, right? The other day, an article came out, and I kind of touched on it lightly last week, but I'll run through it here with all the information because it's important that you know this. Football Australia asks for $3 billion of funding from the Australian government. Now, the background of this comes from 2 years ago when Sports Minister Annika Wells said, "At the moment, my experience as a new incoming sports minister has been that everybody comes in with their individual pitch, even if it's directly clashing with the individual pitch of the next state over or with the code that shares the stadium, and they just leave it for us to sort out. I would have thought that this sport would want to work strategically." This is referencing to football and their request for funding. And obviously the fact that there's a Football Australia, then there's a Football Victoria, then there's a Football Sydney and all the different clubs and all this, and they all ask for different things, even if it clashes with someone else's request.
Yep.
And she also stated that AFL come with one pitch.
Yes,
example.
they're unified.
So for the first time, all the separate Australian football bodies have come together to ask the government for $3 billion in funding to be paid over 10 years to help grow the game. The pitch is called Securing Our Football, if you want to find that online, guys. Mm-hmm. Within the pitch, there are 23 recommendations for how the money will be used, but here are the main recommendations to support football in Australia. The federal government should create a 10-year, fully funded plan to fix the $1.56 billion gap in change room facilities for the growing number of female participants. State, territory and local governments should spend a combined $1.2 billion over the next 5 to 10 years to improve lighting and drainage at football fields. Amy Park. The federal government should invest $50 million to build a national football headquarters for Football Australia and the A-Leagues. Support is needed to build 3 new state football headquarters, upgrade 5 existing ones, and redevelop Perry Park in Brisbane for the 2032 Olympics. A total of $1 million is being requested from the federal, New South Wales and Victorian governments to help launch a new Australian Championship football competition. More funding and support is needed for football development, sports, diplomacy, and programs that use football to help communities. A clear process should be created with governments to help Australia win the rights to host big international football tournaments in the future. And finally, updates are needed to rules and policies like how top players are funded, how visas work for overseas players, planning and building sports facilities, safety and matches, and stopping people from using dangerous flares at games.
I'll tell you why I'm clapping, because, again, transparency and honesty. I actually didn't know what exact things people were asking for when they said football needs more funding, because it's a very broad topic, right? Obviously, you could say, oh, you know, funding into facility, blah, blah, blah. That was a great breakdown, so thank you. Thank you for the snippet. And I think that really covers all bases of what needs to be amended in those fields.
Well, my question, from what I just read, did you guys hear anything? Like, because I feel like 2 of our biggest issues are the cost to play
Oh, yeah, shit.
Kids.
Yeah, forgot that one, didn't I?
and the lack of good coaches because of the money that's provided for coaching or the difficulty to get coaches.
So,
I didn't read anything in there that mentioned those two things.
well, it's down to the clubs, isn't it? How much they charge when it's NPL.
yes.
Okay, now, that's fine, but it is still $500-$600 or whatever to play community, which is a farce.
That's... Wait, you mean that's a lot or it's not?
That's a lot, bro.
Oh, in comparison to $5,000 to play.
Well, okay. Most NPL clubs aren't charging $5,000. I've heard that's like the high end. But I still think regardless, it's, bro, $500-$600. Don't it, bro,
Yeah.
I paid $500-$600 to play Metro and literally got nothing out of it. Like, not even refs. So it's like, where the fuck is the money going to? And for kids as well, you know, a lot of immigrant families and stuff, you're coming here, you may not be on the biggest wage, salary, whatever. $600 for your kids to go play down at the local park, coached by a dad.
Yeah, I think
It's a lot.
It's that stuff as well as like I remember when I came here, we started paying to play, and it's like you'd be playing on a pitch that has a random cricket strip. Right?
Yeah, I don't
And
think
you'd
you're ever
just-
going to get away from that.
You can't,
but,
yeah.
But like when I'm paying and I'm rolling my ankle every game,
Yeah. Mum, I actually wanted to play soccer, not cricket. Here.
that is pain. That's bad.
Yeah.
I'm paying to get injured.
So it's an interesting one. Like, I mean, credit where credit's due. Seeking that money and putting this all together, fantastic.
Yes.
But it does seem like there's maybe a couple things in there that are missing that might be integral.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe.
Remains to be seen. But yes, this is so those that were asking about where's the funding, that's what Football Australia are trying to do.
Yeah, allegedly trying to do. Can I just lighten the tone a little bit? Well, it's actually darkening the tone. Guys, I want to give you an update on the girl from Oakley.
Darkening the okay.
Oh, no, that was
this
wrong.
going?
Yeah,
That was wrong. Just because, okay.
That's not a reference. To
Oh,
That's
no,
not
no.
That's not a
that's
reference to her skin tone.
That's not what I was thinking. I was just thinking, where's this going to go now?
Oh, is it sad?
It's just sad.
Why is it sad? Yeah, okay, yeah.
I thought I was onto something.
She hated it so much she quit her job. So he doesn't come there again.
Yeah, John said, I walked past you, wasn't it? Nah.
Hold on. So can we reiterate for the people that may have not listened to the episode?
For the people that may have not listened to the episode, which that's an issue. A couple of weeks ago, I was at Oakley at one of the restaurants there and basically fell in love with one of the waitresses, but I was typical Jerome, too fried and nervous to say something. We had left. My mate's like, fuck it, I'll go back in for you. Get her Instagram. It ain't for me. He got her Instagram. I messaged her. She took about 4 or 5 days to respond and said thank you with the glittering emoji. I was like, not much to work
What
with.
did you message her? This is the question.
I said, hey, I hit her with the
Hey, how are you? Thank you.
I hit her with the, what did I mess? It was,
Yeah, what could she possibly have said thank you to?
I said,
I
oh,
hope you didn't just do a
Beautiful
compliment.
type of thing.
no. I said, hey, sorry, I had to dip, like leave. But my mate told me he came back in, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I said, thanks for the follow back. I said, I just found you to be, gorgeous. And you were just really polite and, yeah. And then she said, thank you. And I was like, not much to work with, but we move.
To be fair, I don't think you gave her much to work.
That's what I was going to say. What's she going to say to that?
What the fuck do I want to, how do I start the message then?
Yeah, I thought you were...
I said all that.
I wanted...
blah,
No,
but
sorry,
then
my
give her
mate got
something that
your
she
number,
has
blah,
to
blah.
answer.
This is, I'm the guy that thought you were good looking that my mate came and spoke to you, blah, blah.
Yeah, but I don't want to give
so
her...
she knows who you are.
I don't wanna
and then say, all right, I want to go for a coffee with you. Are you free next Thursday at this
Okay,
time?
I didn't want to ask that in the first message. I was eventually going to lead up to that. So I let her just, soft opening.
Okay.
And then she said, thank you. And then I said, how long you been in Melbourne? Blah, 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 like the follow-up questions. Haven't received a reply for about 2 weeks. Not even seen. So shout out to her. I hope she's having a great time. She doesn't need to respond to me. That's fine.
I wonder... I wonder why she's
the
not...
subject of a podcast.
Well, because... Yeah, but I also wonder, okay.
No one knows who she is.
She said yes to giving you her Instagram.
Yeah.
Which is probably there's some interest there. I
Maybe.
would assume.
Well, she saw me.
It's an
She's still
assumption.
following you?
Yeah.
That's all right. So that's an assumption. But So something about what you're messaging has made her
Also,
not interested anymore.
she hasn't posted a story since the whole time I've followed
So
her.
maybe she's not very active.
She's not. I don't think she's active on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
So, but I'm just going to give myself the benefit of the doubt and
Yeah,
think
let's
she's
wait and
not
see.
active on
She's
Instagram.
shy. She's thinking of something.
Yeah,
to
she's
say.
shy. Yeah, she's shy. That's all right. She'll come
Thinking.
around to it.
Still thinking.
Also, man, my best friend found his wife.
Yeah, nice.
Congrats? Question mark.
Yeah. So I won't say
Found his wife.
Yeah,
What if
bro.
She listens to this and then it's
she
like,
doesn't.
Freaked out.
they've just only started dating. You've just outed him like that.
Bro, this guy matched her in a different city, and then within 1 week of speaking to her, flew to her to meet her, and he said he had like the greatest weekend of his life, and I genuinely believe they're going to get married.
Wow, that's beautiful, man.
It is sort of beautiful. He deserves it. He's had a rough run.
Hey, seriously. I would love to know what the statistics are these days of how many people meet each other online in comparison to in person. And then after that, how successful the relationships are. Because a lot of old school people would say, nah, you can't meet people online. That's bullshit.
You got to be depressed at a bar and say, can I get the fine lady something? Yeah. Hey, I don't want anything. A martini for the lady. Shaken, not stirred. That's how old people want us to pick up people.
Yeah. I met my partner on a dating app.
Yeah, bro. Fuck. Anyone that says, I've never been on a dating app, you're not better than anyone.
I don't think anyone even runs with that like thing anymore because it's just like it's so normal.
They
Older
used
people
to.
do, bro.
One out of every 2 relationships probably is on.
I think older people are still saying it, man.
Yeah, but they're also old and
Not the 55-year-olds I'm matching on Hinge. What?
What?
What'd you say?
Hello.
So, yeah, it's an odd field. And you know what pisses me off, Rash?
Has Rash heard the story about the 55-year-old woman of a certain background?
No. I never met her, but I'll tell you off air. That's Patreon. People don't deserve that. They got to pay for that. They got to pay for that. What was I going to say? Oh, you know what pisses me off before we get into amateur agents? Just for a bit of general talk. Mm-hmm. People that say, the dating pool is full of piss. You're peeing. You're in it.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean by that?
Like, Rash, this young generation.
Yeah.
That's another one. Add that to the list.
yeah,
This young generation.
yeah.
They say,
The kids these days.
they say, the dating pool is so hard. The dating scene is so hard. You're a piece of shit. And you're in it. And there's probably a reason you have no one. So I'm sick of people saying there's 4.5, whatever the fuck, million people in Melbourne. You'll find someone. You're just shit. I just hate when people complain.
And that's Jerome's advice to you. You'll find someone you just shit.
I thought you would have agreed with me on this.
What on what
sitting
exactly? Complaining? Yeah, I agree.
Sitting there complaining about how everyone's not good enough for you.
Yeah. I do agree to some extent, but then...
Bro, you give me a city where the
I agree.
dating scene is thriving. They say it in every fucking city.
Yeah.
The people here are bad. I want
But
something
it's
from
also
someone
like,
else.
I do think this, right? If you want to find a good person, a good match for you, why would that be easy?
Well, that's exactly right.
That's a great take.
Yeah.
That's a great take.
Yeah.
Like, if you want something that good, why would it be easy?
Yeah, because a lot of people hate their fucking partners.
Yeah. But it's
truth
also
to
like,
that,
if
yeah.
someone's a good partner, they're going to be a highly sought after person.
Well, that's exactly
If I want a
right.
quality investment, I'm going to have to bid.
Yeah.
Well, take that with a grain of salt, but I agree.
Bid.
Yeah.
Like, let's say you want a nice house and
I get- yeah,
I'll give her
exactly.
250 grand. I want her.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what you're
So I'm
saying.
going to have to put in effort.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. 100%.
Yeah, I like it.
You're going to have to show that you're worthy of that. That
And
level
I'm
of
not
quality.
worthy yet. And I'm working on it.
You dude brought
Yeah.
you into this.
Nah, just
Took an opportunity to let us
you know why?
this.
Just so people don't think I think I'm high and mighty. Trust me, I'm peeing in that pool, baby.
He rocked up in his pajamas today.
Yeah, I'm peeing and shitting in that pool like it's Dandy Oasis. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
Floating turds.
But then I think it's also that I saw this quote the other day. I thought it was great, man. It's great.
all right,
It
last
was like-
quote because
it
we
was
had
like,
15 minutes.
Being single is difficult. Being in a relationship is difficult.
Yeah, choose
Having
your
a job is difficult. Being unemployed is
your
difficult.
hard.
Choose your difficult.
Choose your hard, you reckon?
Bluetooth ad goes here.
Bro, it's so true, man.
Yeah.
It's so true. You can be there, be single, complain that you're single, complain that it's hard to find people. Whatever. Then you're going to get into a relationship. You're going to realize that's also difficult, and you're going to start complaining about that. Oh, it's difficult to have hard, honest conversations. It's difficult to.
Oh, she leaves
make
skid marks in the bowl.
It's difficult.
There's always something.
Who do you meet?
Nah, I'm just.
Girls do.
There's always something. Anyway,
But yeah, DM Jerome if you're looking for a partner.
No.
DM Jerome.
you know what's
His
funny?
DMs are open.
All my new followers are 31-year-old married guys, which is
They wanna-
awesome.
Yeah.
that hate their partner.
But sometimes I want to get female followers. Just one every week.
Except you do content that's the most male-centric.
Yeah, no, but some of the girls are like, oh my God, that's funny. All right. Time for amateur agents, brought to you by no one. We got to move through these. I put this podcast on every morning before the drive to work. You guys make my shitty job better. Thank you. We love you. These are the people I do it for, man. I don't do it for the people that are thriving. Well, sorry, I shouldn't say you're not thriving. I don't do it for the
It's a backhanded compliment.
No,
Like,
my
what
bad.
the
I sound like Jake.
Shout out to all my losers out there.
It's because I'm a fellow loser, Rash. I'm allowed to say it. What I should have said was, shout out to all the people's people. We ain't doing this for the CEOs. A question for Jerogba. I play five-a-side and the standard's pretty good, but I played AFL growing up, so I'm not a natural on the ball. Any tips for getting better at futsal? Futsal? If it's specifically futsal, it's not really my area of expertise, but I would say the age-old thing of the more touches you get in a week, the better you will get. It's literally undeniable. It's the only method that works. Getting in as many touches as you can, and futsal, if you're playing actual futsal, use the soul. Learn that the game is not played with a friggin' bouncy ball and all. Like, it's about the soul, it's about the quickness, it's about the sharpness. But if you're playing five-a-side like in a cage, it's just reps, man. Like, have you ever seen that guy who thinks he's going to make the World Cup for America?
Yep.
If you look at or even speed, if you look at how speed was, he could juggle the ball 2 times. Now he could do like 100. It's just reps.
His actual ability to like read a play or something.
Yeah,
is, like,
yeah,
improved,
yeah. So I would say the most touches you could physically get in each week with a football, that is your surefire way to get better. There is no magical method. I have a severe case of ballitis. Ruptured my ACL twice and did my ankle all before the age of 20. Oh, hey, Gav. I'm now 26. Still play, not at a high level or anything. Don't get paid to play, just love the game. Am I insane? Absolutely not, brother. Absolutely not. I saw some guy the other day say you're a weirdo or you're not a man if you don't support a football club or like football or like sports or whatever. If it brings you joy in this fucked up world, not to be preachy, but with everything going on at the moment, if you enjoy playing football, bro, there's 100 trillion worse things you could be doing. You're staying fit, you're keeping social, and you're feeding that little itch inside of you that loves the game. So absolutely not, bro. Absolutely not. I think it's sick when like 50-year-olds playing over 35s and all that.
I think also it's quite ironic. I think once you start getting paid to play, the enjoyment goes down.
Yes.
So you're not weird, bro.
Every pod you boys do is awesome, but when all 5 of you are there, it takes it to another level. I'm at every pod. Talk to the other boys. Which clubs have the best food?
I am also at every point.
Yeah, Noor is
Talk
too.
to the other boys.
Which clubs have the best food? For me, I've always said I don't think I've had a better Chavapi than Springvale City.
Noor said Chavapi at Danny Thunder was the
Thunder.
best one that you had.
Yeah, that was
I think he said it was better than Heatherton. Is
No,
that what you
no,
said?
you said the
That was the best
one
one?
you've
Yeah, that was really, really good.
When asking my coach what I need to do to keep my spot in the seniors, he told me he values me and always has a spot for me in his team. A week later, he dropped me without saying anything. I only found out when the squad were announced. It's been 4 weeks of resis now. What should I do? Well, I'll give you the Rash method and then I'll give you my method. The Rash method is to go up to the coach and say, hey, man, you told me that you value me and I'm going to be a part of this team and I haven't seen the senior squad in 4 weeks. What's the go? Is it me? Is it you? Do I have to improve on something? Blah, blah, blah. Would that be the rash method?
I would probably, some extent, but I was actually going to say prove yourself in the reserves.
Oh, okay.
Have some humility about you. Bruno said it in the pod when we did it with him.
Yeah.
He played reserves to prove that he needed to go back to the senior
I think
team.
the difference with that is he was getting the cold shoulder, whereas this guy went from saying he values me and he always has a spot for me.
Yeah.
So you are going to be confused.
Yeah, I understand the confusion, but I would still say just prove yourself.
Prove it, yeah. And look, to be honest, man, I mean, we're halfway through the season-ish. If you feel like you're doing a great job in the resis and you're not getting looked at, then there's obviously a deeper problem. There's no other way to put it. Like, if you feel like you're killing it in the resis and you're like, I'm a level above this, then move. You guys need to get some NPL players on the pod. Would be interesting to hear for some locals, but also those who are in visa contracts and have come here to play football. Yep. We'll think about it. But it's hard.
You need characters,
You
bro.
need characters.
You need characters that people are interested in.
Because I'm going to be real with you. No one wants to hear someone come on here and say, yeah, bro, it's been good. You know, squad's been good.
It's
We've been
also
training. No one gives a fuck.
Yeah.
You know? Feel like
try to deliver quality for you guys. Remember that.
Feel like you guys need to collab with Champagne Football. Yeah, I've seen their stuff. They're good. But I think they're in Sydney, so it'd be hard. Jerome, we know what you think, but I want the opinion of the other boys. What is the opinion of players moving at this stage of the season to chase more minutes or senior football? Man, I feel like we answer this. I'm going to... Weekly.
Yeah, it's obviously it's case by case, man. But I think as an overarching statement to most of the people that message in that type of a question, I would say have more accountability that you need to prove that you're worth playing and making money. Stop putting the accountability on the coach, the politics of this or that. I'm going to move clubs because, prove yourself that you deserve to be in the team, I would say in general.
Councils don't care about soccer pitches. Maybe. How come Jake supports Vuk but played for Adelaide? Did Adelaide stitch him up? Well, Jake's a Melbourne boy, so I believe he grew up supporting Victory. That's why. The fact that none of you understand the varsity reference from last ep is disappointing, especially from you, Jerome. You boys,
Someone did comment the timestamp.
Yeah, I know. You boys need to watch Sopranos. I've been told all week from Ali Menjum and other people that it's from Sopranos. Guess what, guys? I haven't fucking seen Sopranos. I'm sorry.
I started watching it last night. First time.
Well, there you go.
It's good. Nah, I've always wanted to watch it, and then someone put the comment. I was like, oh, well.
I can't watch shows or movies from the 90s.
I have that same problem, but it's good.
How much is Patreon going to cost? I hope it means you guys sticking with no filter. Brother, the point of Patreon is literally less of a filter. That's what Patreon is for. And you're going to get much more personable and fun on there.
Raw dog.
Yeah. Yep. Why are there more Northwest clubs in the NPL compared to Southeast? It's obvious the football is prevalent in the Northwest and also the Southeast have better ballers. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe it's because the Northwest is more compact and the Southeast is just bigger. That could play a part. I'm not too sure. I actually don't have an answer for that. What is this Patreon you keep talking about? Can you explain it? Okay. Guys, all I'm going to say is, for those who don't know, Patreon is a platform where you subscribe for a small monetary cost, where you will get extra content from us that maybe is a bit less filtered, more fun, more rogue, more left field, more sort of evergreen episodes where you can listen to it whenever.
More entertainment.
Maybe more entertainment. You know, you could get, vlogs and extra episodes, stuff like that. That is what Patreon is. It's a platform for that. That will not change what you get now, which is the pod and the skits and stuff. That won't change that. It's extra content. That's all I'm going to say for now. Few more. Are you guys planning on doing more than one pod a week? Loving these 2-hour pods. Would pay for the extra pods. Patreon. When will Noor get his own camera? Today. Settle this debate. Is winning the Europa League more prestigious than winning the FA Cup? It depends, man. It depends because, shout out Crystal Palace last night. Probably the best day in their club's history. It depends. I would say that tough. It's tough.
I wonder why they're asking that question. I'm assuming it's because of Ange. And we probably need to mention, we are planning,
Yep.
no guarantees right now, but
we
we
don't
are
know.
planning to live stream the Man United versus Tottenham Europa Cup final on Thursday morning, 5 a.m.
And we'll get back to you
So,
guys about the Champions League
Just
final.
pay attention on, and pay attention on socials for that.
I think maybe it's also because now Crystal Palace qualify for the Europa League. So, look, FA Cup is it's a prestigious trophy and everyone really respects it. But then Europa League, obviously, over the past few years has become something that
It's a good additional.
it's a good additional because you win. You know when you win a European trophy, it's like whoa. You know, West Ham in the Conference League was like whoa. You know, but I would say slightly FA Cup. I think. Fourth choice goalkeeper here.
Wow.
Fourth. I didn't know that was a thing.
Is it politics keeping me out of the starting 11?
Brother, the position is keeping you out of the starting.
Yeah,
11.
play striker, bro. Straight out.
Yeah.
Are y'all participating in Boots Only Summer? And which boot is your all-time favourite?
Wait, what's that?
Have you ever
Okay,
heard about this?
Boots only summer.
Yeah, so people are like, it's nostalgia's come back in football. So you're seeing Total 90s back. all that
Wearing
kind of stuff is
football
back.
boots.
So wearing football boots with your jeans and all that kind of stuff.
Brother.
Gavin started that.
We're not doing that.
I might do it.
No, you can. Yeah, you can.
Fuck it.
You could literally be suited and booted.
Hey, fuck it.
that's
Next NPL game, I'm coming in jeans and boots.
He's not doing that.
No, I'll do it.
So what are you wearing? Like it's turfs? Is it
No,
turfs?
boots. Mercurials.
Yeah, but
No,
what's on the
not
sole,
turfs, bro.
Studs
Yeah, studs.
with jeans.
Yeah, bro. Have you not seen it?
What?
Taking the internet by storm.
You're lying. You're taking.
I'm not, bro. I'm not. It's a thing. Boots Only Summer. All the fashion kids are doing it.
It's a thing.
I'm going to do it.
Do it.
Bro, what
I'm
about
gonna-
your spine,
Bro, fuck
you-
my
and
spine.
your
I got
pelvis.
scoliosis.
bro? There's going to be some pelvises out. Chiropractors are going to be hot. At the end of
Chiropractors
this
are
summer,
up.
man.
Which non-Derby A-League fixture do you think is the most heated? Victory in Adelaide, or victory in Sydney. Which teammate of yours had the best style on and off the pitch?
Oh, good question, man. Oh, you know who I'm going to go, bro?
Fahid.
Jesse Macaronis.
Jesse
He
Macaronis.
was pretty good, man.
All right,
he was
man.
pretty good, man. Gav's pretty good.
Gav's pretty
good.
cool,
Gav's a
mate.
star show.
Gav's pretty good.
A few more. Who's the most... you don't swap jerseys, do you?
Nah.
Okay, so we can't answer that.
Couldn't afford to.
I think...
Weren't
yeah,
allowed.
That you have to
weren't
pay
allowed.
for them.
I'm pretty sure Gav swapped with a big dude at Galatasaray. Just can't
Big
remember.
dude.
Like a dude.
Yeah.
Me, nobody. I've never swapped a jersey with anyone.
Cool. Swap hoodies after this
Yeah.
episode.
Sorry, guys. I'm just sort of filtering through. Thoughts on Sandringham's start to the season? Rocky, but not the worst. And I think they're starting to find a bit of form. Massive win on the weekend. They'll be gunning for those top spots soon. They've taken a while to gel.
Jake not playing. Fahid's been not there.
Yeah.
And Milosh
Yep.
out, like somewhat.
How the fuck do I get a trial to play MPL without knowing anyone?
This has been asked before. I actually think it's quite difficult. You kind of need to know people.
You kind of need to just message Gav.
Message Gav, man. Gav's the unofficial agent of MPL.
I think the only way, again, I could be wrong, is to have maybe a video package or have a resume of where you've played so it gives the club some type of idea of how good you are. And, you know, I'm sure that if you ask around at a few clubs, someone will at least give you a training session to see. But again, wrong time of the year. You've got to go preseason when new players are coming in and old players are leaving.
Yeah, jokes aside, I definitely know. We spoke to Kotzi at Northcote and he said Michael Eager contacted him by email. So
there you go.
Find the email of the president or the coach or something and just send it through.
Who am I? I played for Heidelberg FC, then got loaned to Melbourne Victory before signing Victory on a permanent contract before flunking out of the A-League.
What did it say? Who am I?
Yeah. Is that?
Do you want to read it again?
Heidelberg, loaned to Victory. I didn't even know you could do that. And then signing for Victory on a permanent before leaving the A-League? Was that Kenny Atsu?
Ah,
That's you.
yeah, maybe. Yeah, probably.
Cool. Yo,
Jerome.
Jerome. Had to switch up real quick when going into this monologue on video resolutions. Mans was spitting about 720p and 420p with his gripes with low quality vids. Where's this ball knowledge from, brother? What?
What did that say?
Did I stop listening halfway and that's why I didn't understand that, or was it cryptic?
Mans was spitting about 720p and 420p.
Is that Eminem?
And his gripes with low quality vids. Where's this ball knowledge from, my brother?
I think he's referring to somebody in particular. Did you have a guess that said something?
No, it was when I was talking about the quality of the A-League and the MPL streams. Brother, what the fuck does my ball knowledge...
That's who flipped you off at victory.
Yeah, but what does my ball knowledge have to do with my knowledge of fucking pixels?
Yeah, not sure.
Not sure about that one, brother. But my point still stands. A-League and MPL video quality is not good enough. Whether it's 980p, 69p, fucking 1p, it's shit.
1 pixel.
Would you make any changes to the finals in the A-Leagues? Make it top 4 instead. Yeah, how about running like a normal league?
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that, man. The
thinking this
double
too.
semi-leg
Yeah.
stuffs up the hype, bro. I don't like the double semi-leg. I know it's a business move, but it's bloody shit.
It's not a great business move when you're not packing out seats. It's actually a big expense.
Yeah,
That's
like
exactly
there you go.
right.
There's a question for you. For Western United, Melbourne City, if it's one leg, do more people come?
Well, yes.
I would say they do.
Probably, yeah. It's
100%.
do or die.
Same victory, Auckland. Do more people come? Probably.
Because also right now, it's like after you've done the first leg and now the second leg, they have to do it there again. And they know it's going to be bad. Like, it's not a good business decision.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all for today for amateur agents. One last thing, very quickly. Guys, be careful when you're speaking around a VO or a game being filmed in the MPL or State League. Now, there's been times where I or some friends of mine have said some stuff and we're like, fuck, hope the VO doesn't pick that one up, because we were just shitting on the whole team. But I just got sent a video from my mate Shane Almazi down at Dandy Thunder. And this is from Vic Football. It's a page that does sort of Vic Football, funny stuff and all that. This is...
Yeah, I can't be fucking doing anything else. So I had a 6-week fucking assignment for PE. I've not started. It was due Friday. Huh? Yeah, I can't be fucking doing anything else. So I had a 6-week fucking assignment for PE. I've not started. It was due Friday.
What game is that?
It looks like... What pitch is that?
I had a 6-week fucking assignment for PE.
I had a fucking 6-week assignment for PE. I have not fucking started.
It was due Friday. I have not
it
fucking
was
started.
due Friday.
Wait. What team is that? What game is it?
Bro, what ground is that?
The crazy thing is, I feel like I know who that is just by the voice.
The kid? Where is that?
Is that Oakley Cannons? Yeah.
Is
That's
it?
Oakley
Is it Cannons?
Think so.
Nah, I don't think it is. Again, they're going to grill us. Like, oh, you don't know the stand? No, I don't fucking know the stand.
Or maybe it's Hyde work.
Maybe. Yeah.
Sounds like Heidelberg.
That's
That is hilarious, by the way. Shout out to whoever that is.
shout
I hope
out to
you know
that year
it's
10
you.
guy
Get your son,
who doesn't give a fuck about the assignment because he's watching MPL. Sounds very Jerome coded.
I have not started.
Yeah, I have not started. Now, imagine, guys, if you have any funny convos picked up by your VO or picked up by whoever's filming or whatever, send them in and we'll have a listen and we'll make you famous, because I love shit
funny,
like
bro.
that. Like, the game's ended and he's complaining to his mate because fuck PE.
Yeah.
Or just start talking crap under the VOs just to give the guy editing it a good time.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. I've heard some funny shit and then realised, oh shit, they're going to hear that. And then when they give the players the VO back, hey boys, here's the VO from the weekend. You missed a sitter. Oh, I fucking always hated that cunt.
Yeah.
Bro, fuck him off.
Yeah.
Anyway, Buddhas, that'll do us for this week. Hopefully next week the whole crew's back. Shout out Gav. He's on the MS run at the moment. Shout out all the Buddhas that donated to that good cause. Again, 5 stars on Spotify. Follow us on Spotify. Follow Bootin' About. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow our personal accounts. Rash is doing his streaming and his vlogs and all that good stuff. Pay me to do whatever you guys want. And that should do us. Patreon, Pon, Root. Suited and booted. We out. Yep. Well, that's exactly right. Yep.
This is going to become a tick.
There you go. Short and sweet. Who said I can't do under 2 hour eps?